So we're blessed that following that same path of self-determination amongst Americans of African descent, that we could have someone like Sheikh Amin to be able to come in, do his studies, fly in under the radar without having to worry about wars and political machinations, and get his ijazah, indicative of his degree of qualification, and then come right back to America, come right back to New York City, and come right back to Harlem, and share that which he has learned. But I just wanted to take a moment to share those things with you, so that we will not take these historical moments and these historical events for granted. Shukran, jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Sheikh Amin is a scholar and teacher of Islamic sacred law per Maliki Methab at the Islamic Cultural Center of New York. Sheikh Amin is the founder and CEO of the Islamic Education Support Foundation, which provides educational, crisis intervention, and social services to the community in the New York City area. He was born in 1947 in Harlem, and as a child was influenced by the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He attended Fordham University on a basketball scholarship, and later was a student of the renowned scholar Dr. Suleiman Dania. Sheikh Amin would go on to study at Al-Azhar University, Egypt, and receive ijazah, authorization to teach. He is the first American to receive ijazah in sacred law from this historic university. Brothers and sisters, we ask you to welcome Sheikh Amin. Takbir!
Assalamu alaikum. So, I'm very embarrassed. For the people who know me, they know I always hide from these type of accolades, and but I think that it's important at some point that, you know, the people get to know me a little better. So I'm trying to break out of that comfort zone, and that's one of the reasons I came. And I thank you so much, Imam, for inviting me to come and to speak. I want the people of Harlem especially to know that, yes, I came from Harlem. I grew up in Harlem. And most of them that knew me would never imagine I would be here, Sheikh Amin, today. One of my classmates is sitting right there from elementary school. So, Allahumma salli wa salam mubarak ala sayyidina Muhammad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-mursalin Sayyidina Muhammad wa sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa tabi'ina lahum bi insan illa yawmiddin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin an-nabiyil ummi wa azwaji ummahatil mu'minin wa dhurriyyatihi wa ala bayt kama sallaita ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. Wa sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. So I like to go straight and not waste time. We're running out of time. We all have to pay attention to this. We're running out of time. The main reason for me taking a job, not work, but to do work out of the Islamic Cultural Center was because there was never an African American before who could have an office in the Islamic Cultural Center of New York, you see? And I wanted to be able to represent our people so that they would have to start to pay attention to us. But we have to do it ourselves. We can't stop waiting for somebody to do it for us. Once my teacher told me, he said, you know, you're from very rich people. I said, rich people? This was in 1969. I said, very rich people? I didn't understand. He said, I'm telling you, everybody knows that you brothers and sisters from America are rich, but you don't know it. And it took me a few years to really understand what he was saying. When I started to travel, especially when I went to Egypt, and I saw the people, I said to myself, you know, those ulama were right. Because those people are so poor, even our welfare recipients are in better condition than they are. You see, they had two different things. The people who had businesses, they were the rich people. And then everybody else. So, my teachers used to tell me, just like that, there are only two things happening on this planet. Belief and disbelief. We have to stop confusing what's going on. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, standing amongst the Sahaba, he took a stick and he went into the ground like this and made a straight line. And then he made lines like this on the sides of the straight line. And he said, do you know what that is? Of course, they say Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam knows best. He said, the straight line is the line, the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the line that leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these other lines are distractions. The distractions come from shaitan, a'udhu billahi, and this is what he vowed. He vowed to keep us distracted, to keep us out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's good pleasure, see? And so, as I look around every day, I see we are definitely being distracted. We're being distracted, and we've been distracted to the point that we don't even realize it's a distraction anymore. We're in a place that it's upside down. The good things are considered as bad, and the bad things are considered as good. Straight to the point. Ibrahim alayhi salam is considered the father of the prophets. He was such a glorious and good doing man that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala named him Ummah. Ummah. Meaning that one man was an ummah, like we say today, the Muslim ummah. Well, he was the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say he was ummah. He was his own ummah. They say that when he left, you know, when they tried to kill him and he had to leave that city, they say when he left, he looked to his wife and he said, today we are the only believers on the face of this earth. Some scholars say also he had his cousin with him, whose name we call him Lut. See? Allahumma salli wa sallam mubarak ala sayyidina Muhammad. Only believers on the face of the earth. And he went on to have sons, and his wife, he left her in Mecca, in the area of Mecca, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to do it. And his young son, Ismail alayhi salam, also, he left him there. At the behest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from what he said, he had a dream. A dream to prophets is an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I can tell you a lot of good, beautiful, wonderful stories about the Prophet and other prophets that did great things also, but not like the father of the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He didn't make Ibrahim alayhi salam a means of forgiveness. Who did He do that for? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa salam. When you say Allahumma salli wa salam mubarak ala Sayyidina Muhammad, you're making yourself, this dua is putting you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by 10 degrees in Jannah. It's removing 10 sins from you and giving you 10 virtues every time you say it. One sheikh say, whenever you say what's called Salatul Fatih, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin al-Fatih lima ughliq wa katim lima sabaqa nasir haq bihaq wa hadi ala siratika mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdarihi al-lazim. He say every time, once you say it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates 600,000 angels to pray for you from the time you make that dua for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam until you die. Each time you say it. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. Yani, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتُهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا صَلُّوا عَلَيْهِ وَسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to pray. He say Himself and the angels pray for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so should we. And so should we. So some people are under the impression that if you make some dua for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's okay to do other things. No, no, no. A man came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, pray that I can be with you when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, sure, okay, but you have to help me. He said, well, how can I help? You're the Prophet of Allah. What can I do? He said, you can make more sujood. So when the scholars started to look at that talk, they say, it means that making words is not enough. You have to do action. Your muscles have to do what your tongue is saying for it to be authentic and real. See? You can't just sit around all day like this. Once I went to my teacher, I said, oh, look, the brothers all making tasbih. He said, yeah, okay. So I said, I'm going to go over there and sit with them. Bad mistake. He said, okay, go ahead. So I went over there. They were making tasbih all day, into the night. I'm sitting there making tasbih. And then I realized, I'm a little hungry. So I go back to my teacher. I say, Sheikh, I'm hungry. He said, oh, yeah? He said, well, all that time you was in there making tasbih, you should have went outside and found you something for dinner. I stayed hungry that night, but I learned a lesson. See, just making tasbih is not enough. You got to do things. You got to earn it, see? And this is where we're failing. We're failing because we're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary. How many of my students here? Put your hand up. There's 2,000 more of them out there. More than that. See? And I tell them all the time, they call me Sheikh Son. I said, well, what kind of work are you doing? What are you doing? It's not enough to know, but you have to put it into work. It has to turn into work in order for it to get the barakah. You see? I'm telling you this because what I see today, people have the wrong impression about Islam. Like, look, in prison, see, prison is a microcosm of the world. Huh? So when a brother go to prison, the first thing he learned is if you hang out with the Muslims, you're going to be safe. See? So he put on a kufi. All you brothers who come from this area of Harlem like me, see, you know about these lessons from the time you were a little kid. See? So when you go into prison, you put on your kufi, and you pretend. Not everybody pretend, but a lot of people pretend. See, because they want to be among the Muslims to be safe. See, and then when they come home, the truth comes out. Only a very small amount continue to practice Islam. Well, the Imam said that this is the problem amongst the people, that people want to be associated with Islam, but they don't want to do the work and make the sacrifices necessary for it to turn into virtue. It's not enough wearing a kufi. It's not enough just putting on a kima. It got to turn into action. You got to be willing to make sacrifice. I saw a Steven Seagal movie once, and in the movie, the Jamaican guy says, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. Y'all all know. I'm not pretending. See? So what I'm saying to you, okay, you want to be Muslims. I want to be a Muslim. I want to remind myself first. First, remind myself. And then I have to try and remind you. Being a Muslim is more than what we have been pretending. In the Quran, there's an ayat that tells us that. I'm speaking English because that's what you speak. See, I got a problem with the Arab scholars that come to my place, my home, and talk a language that is over the head of the people. So the people are sitting there, they looking, and maybe after half an hour, he gets somebody else to spend 10 minutes explaining a half an hour of information. Don't do us no good. So, talking to you straight. Allahumma salli wa sallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. There's a great learned man, Sheikh Hassan Sisi, rahmatullahi alayhi, passed away. He was not only learned in fiqh, sharia, he was learned in tasawwuf. They say when he went to Mecca and he led the prayers, you know what it's like to lead the prayers in Mecca? Who you have to be? Huh? And they say when he led the prayers in Mecca, the people were just crying. And he wasn't an Arab. He was from Senegal. Allahumma salli wa sallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslimin kathira. He told me, he said, listen, Sheikh Amin, I want you to tell your people this. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's in control of everything. We have to, hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. If you think that you have some kind of control, you're probably not a Muslim. You're probably not a believer. See? We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control. He says what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did was He showed His might through your African American people. I said, how's that? He said, those same people that were forced to come in this land and work, given the worst food, had that language taken away from them, women raped, every kind of atrocity you could think of done to those people. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a decision. I'm going to repay them with something better. What did He do? He gave us Al-Islam. Al-Islam. Nothing more precious in this world than Al-Islam. You see? Nothing can make you richer than Al-Islam. Billions of dollars. If you have billions of dollars with no deen, you're done. Done. Because them billions of dollars, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't take bail. You got to put in the work. In the Quran, there's an ayat that talk about the people who are supposed to be believers who say, I'm a believer. And when they go before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and attempt to make sujood, they're going to fall on their faces because their pretension of deen is not accepted. So all that time they was wasted pretending to be, fooling themselves. I have to remind you, how would you know whether you're fooling yourself or not? They asked Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know there are many hadiths that talk about the people who died in jihad, the people who were great scholars, the people who were great reciters, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to send many of those to hell because they started with a good intention, but then when they became illustrious and everybody's praising them, their heads got big and they forgot where they started and what they started for. They fooled themselves. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he felt most sorry for the people who were doing wrong when they thought they were doing right. You know how right is? Right is by the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. During every era, they had prophets. But those prophets have come and gone. We are now in the era of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His sunnah is what saves you. His sunnah is what will save the people. No wealth, no beauty, nothing else. They can be a man, the poorest man, but he is practicing his deen. Not crying, not complaining, practicing his deen. When we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the scholars say that poor man will be the richest man. Because in this world, we think about success as acquisition. You understand the word? Acquisition. What you have, what you own, what you know. But only if you practice what you know does it become worthy. They said that when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's going to ask us some questions about what we did. I have to remind you, we are losing ourselves in this dunya. How do I know? Because I'm watching for people to do work. Not work for yourself, not to make more money to buy a new cab. Work for the people. There's a saying, The people have a misunderstanding in regards to the sheikh. Nowadays, the people serve the sheikh. But in real Islamic world, the sheikh serves the people. I've tried my best over 50 years to get this message across. Allah does what He wants to do in His own time, see? My message to the people is to stop waiting for somebody else to do it. We have to put in the work. You want to say, I'm a Muslim? Then you have to do the work of a Muslim. You can't say, I'm a Muslim, and then, you know, you're only making salat 3 times a day. You only fast in Ramadan 10 days out of the year. What kind of Muslim? They got people who are saying they're scholars. They're called, what do I call them? Sheikh Google. Sheikh Google. And they got people who consider that they're learning Islam from Sheikh Google. Have no idea what they're doing. And thinking that they are learning and teaching people this stuff and calling it Islam. Never checking to see, am I right? What do the scholars say about that? So, this is my advice to you. Don't keep wasting your time. We have a progression right here in Harlem. A progression of deen. See? I sat there and I watched and I watched and I watched. I remember Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, he did something that I had never seen or thought that somebody could do. He took the pimps, the whores, the drug addicts, the alcoholics, the criminals, and he reshaped them. Yeah, people say, what is Akida? You understand Akida? Yani, the beliefs were not totally like Islamic beliefs. Yeah, so what? That was a progression to get to where we are today. What's going to be the excuse now? Some people are going to go forward, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask them, what did you do that wasn't salat? Where'd you learn that from? Oh, I didn't have nobody to teach me. I thought I was doing it right. I say Google. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, but wait a minute. You got this imam, you got that imam. I raised them up right in your face to be able to give you that information. Why did you reject it? My advice, for whatever it's worth, I love you. You're my people. To this day, no one can say I took money to be able to sit here and tell you this. Nobody can say it. There's no excuse for us today. All those hands that went up when I say my students, and that's only a few of them. You look around, you say, oh, how can I learn? All of these brothers understand fiqh very well. You don't have to do it. It's your choice. You never hear me trying to force people to do anything. But what I was taught is that you got to give them the choice. You give them the choice by becoming real. So that when they start tearing you apart and they looking under your bed and everything, they can only find Islam there. Okay. اللهم إني أسألك من كل خير سألك منه محمد نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من كل شر استعاذك منه محمد نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما لنا وما أنت علم به من نار ربنا في الدنيا حسن وفي الكرات حسن وكينا ثاب النار اللهم إني أعوذ بك من المية وممات ومن فتنة القبر ومن فتنة مسيح الدجال ومن عذاب النار وسوء المصير وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Okay, you see this? Had they told me and showed me what they were going to do, I would have said it should be the other way around. See? Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz should be on top, and I should be on the bottom. Sheikh Hassan say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does what he please. The Chinese people, he allowed them to master miniaturization, to take something big and make it small and allow it to continue to work properly. He allowed the European people to be extremely good in business. He said, and in spite of all that, and them enslaving our people and keeping their foots on their neck, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided they're going to be the believers in America. Every time you go to Juma, I don't know about in the Islamic Center, every time you go to Juma, there's an African American man or woman that the Imam says, we're going to give them Shahada. And you look, it's another African American taking Shahada. Right here. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power. Sheikh Hassan say, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show. He's in control and no one can stop what he wants to happen. But we have to do the work. Okay.